Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's me, Talise Williams, here with another video for y'all. And today I basically just want to talk about, the trick of falling into the trap of symbolism. You have to understand, everything has a balance. Everything is a yin and a yang. Everything has a positive and a negative. Everything has a opposite. We all have light and dark within us. Like I quoted from The Matrix when Neo asked the Oracle what Smith was, and she said, he is you, he is your opposite. The eventuality of the equation trying to balance itself out. Now, you have to understand something. The Illuminati card game didn't come out to 1995. But they'll tell you something that happened in 1960 with symbolism. Symbolism from who? And I'm not saying that the Illuminati wasn't around. They always lurked in the shadows, basically like the CIA or like a spy or a plant, gathering information about, things we do, the way we silently communicate, what's popular in our culture as individual races and ethnicities, individual countries, individual neighborhoods, states, whatever it is. So, they'll take, because one thing means something to one group, it has to mean that for every group. And what you can do by falling into that trap of symbolism is take away your focus from what's really going on. A lot of things are distractions. So you'll get the video, look at him, look what he doing. He throwing up the Baphomet, he throwing up this, he throwing up that. It's like some videos, it's like, look at so-and-so. They got to be a Mason because they're 33 years old. As if you cannot be 33 years old. If you live to any age past 33, you can't control being 33 years old. Now, the whole thing with that rapper dude dying at 33, was that Illuminati symbolism? Maybe. But I mean, nobody knows who that guy is. So killing nobody for what? They could have took his death as an opportunity to make a distraction. Like I said, you got people, the peace sign is the Baphomet. The number one sign is a sign of masonry. The AOK sign, the 666 or white power. The hook'em horns or the rock out is the sign of the devil. The hang 10 sign is the sign of the devil. Now, I can understand in a situation where you see Obama do it after giving a speech. There's no reason for it. But if you see somebody listening to Queen and they rocking out and they do it, it don't have shit to do with the devil. I'm not a devil worshiper. And I fell into that trap of, when I do listen to rock music and I'm, into it, and then I go to do that and I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm throwing up devil horns. And I was like, wait a minute. That ain't what that shit represented all throughout my childhood. Now all of a sudden it's a satanic hand symbol. I've never been in a satanic church. I don't know any Satanists on a personal level. So who is it that I'm communicating with? When I throw up the AOK sign, that's exactly what I mean. And the one they get us with the most is the one eye symbolism. But if you go back to scripture, what it was the Bible says? It says, let your eye be singular. That means one eye. And if you look in your endocrine system and you know about your glands, like we talk about with the pineal gland and the thalamus and the pituitary gland, which all are in the center of your forehead. All those glands are, and the Egyptian culture drew the Eye of Ra as almost a map of those glands. And they didn't have x-ray machines. So, what part of the culture, allowed them to understand that? They had to have some kind of understanding to be able to know that. And that's why they were able to do it. So, understanding, like I said, they take good things and try to corrupt her and to try to make us live, in constant fear of that. As you can see here, if you can see it, I doubt it because there's a glare, but you could Google it. You could Google the pineal gland and the eye of Ra, and they look exactly the same. And the back in the time of the Egyptians, that was back in Moses' days when they were popular and when their people were looking at their hieroglyphs. Also, if you think about it, like I said, the location of, the pineal gland here. Now, it's not at the front of your forehead, but, they basically say it's your third eye is here. If you look at your eyes, that makes a triangle. Now, what is that? If you say this is your third eye and it makes a triangle, it's a triangle with the eye on top. So they took the triangle with the eye on top and corrupted it into meaning something bad. And it's basically to make you live in constant fear of yourself and the world around you, and to make you question your faith in God. What is the point of all this? They do put it in movies, they do put it in music, they do put it everywhere, but at the same time, you also have to look at it. Oh, he got on purple, that mean this. She got on purple, that mean this. She got on red. What are you supposed to do? Never wear any color? A person with a red shirt don't mean they sacrificing people. A person with a purple shirt don't mean, it's making you where you're not allowed to have a favorite color. You're not allowed to have a handshake. You're not allowed to like certain things or do certain things. And that's the trap of symbolism. You have the people in the entertainment industry and government and all the powers that be that perpetuate it. And you have those people who are on the outside looking in, so to speak, as far as that, mocking it. And like I said, you can tell who those people are. You have to understand something about business and making money. Like I tell people all the time, a racist person can open a restaurant, a racist white person, and give every black person that comes in that restaurant the best customer service they ever had, because it's about the money. So if I'm the hottest artist out there and I don't want to deal with their bullshit, but they see that it's a market for them to make billions off of me, they'll do it. And they'll let me go to a point where now I have to make that choice. Now from then on, they done made billions off of me. So now they can, if I choose not to be a part of that plan, well, if they already made $500 billion, of course they would like to make more, but it's like, okay, we got $500 billion, so now we can use our measures to keep her from being out there. And it's the ones that, they go out, they do what they do, and then they go sit down somewhere. They very quiet. What do you hear about Keanu Reeves when he's not making a movie? You don't hear anything. A man rides the subway. He's somewhere sitting down. A lot of movies are filmed on green screens. You might not know till you watch the movie yourself that there's a bunch of bullshit in it. If you could, hey, come sit in this chair. Okay, whatever. We doing a video shoot. You come back, you up there doing that Illuminati shit. You like, man, I was just asked to sit in a damn chair. Some shit is that simple, and some of it is not. So you have to be cognizant of, these things, and them being able to use you against yourself, use your culture against you. Whatever that culture is, be it American culture, world culture, black, Latino, Italian, whatever. They got you feeling some type of, like, I hear people, I can't stand pizza now. I don't want to go to a pizza place. I don't like hot dogs now. I don't like pasta now. Fuck all that. I'm going to keep on eating pizza. I know I don't like little kids. When I say I want pepperoni pizza, I literally mean I'm going to the local pizza place to get a fucking piece of pizza. And there are billions of people in this world that all pizza is to them is pizza. You're not on that sick ass level like John Podesta and all these freaking people. You know, you're not in that thing. I mean, you know, who knows to even look at. I mean, I've never thought to look up pedophile symbols on the FBI website. And I'm not saying I don't care about pedophilia, but I'm not thinking about it. I mean, I can't say there aren't any pedophile rings in Cleveland, Ohio, because, I mean, we had LeBron James here. He's probably deep off into that bullshit. I mean, he was sitting around throwing up those signs after the national anthem was over. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is that about? No, that's somebody that's perpetuating the symbol, because all those things don't, they have no purpose or no place with, the contents he's using them in. He's not telling nothing is A-okay. He's not rocking out to no damn music. And what are you throwing up a random ass triangle for? So that's indoctrination on that level, yes. Because he's one of them people that it doesn't matter what he has to do to be rich, he'll do it. And you'll have people, and some of y'all might be them people that, man, you just really want to just go to a local bar and play some music, and you might be good at it, and the people might see you, and you get an opportunity to do it. And that's all it's really about for you. And it's not even necessarily about the money. You just want to put your talent out there and have people enjoy it. Because if you do have a talent that God bless you with, you do have a responsibility to share it, because there would be no point in God blessing you with that talent if you're never going to share it with the world. Now, obviously, it's a shame that they made doing so corrupt, that they co-opted that and saw a lane to, turn people out, to make them Luciferians, to feed their evil. It's an easy thing to do, to feed the demon and to feed the demon spirit. Yeah, that's an easy thing to do. But like I said, there has been millions upon millions of musicians. They don't know when they sign you to that contract. They may think you're going to be the greatest thing ever, and you might be a bust. What would have been the point of them getting you to sell your soul, and they made jack off of you? Where is Milli Vanilli? One of them dudes is dead. Where is Right Said Fred? Where is the Macarena dude? Where is the little bit of Tina in my life dude? Where's that Pitbull dude? I mean, he was popular for 5 minutes. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Where are these people? If you sold your soul, they not just going to accept the fact that you put out one album and went to sit down somewhere. And they live out the rest of their life in obscurity. Like, for those of y'all that like R&B, Anita Baker put out a couple of albums. She get married. Hey, I want to spend time with my husband, and she's done, and that's just it. And they okay with that, and she's just living some normal housewife life? Nah, that's not how it works. The point is, she could have got to that level, to that door, and she like, you know what, I'll just go ahead and retire and go and be a housewife. There's a rapper, Roxanne Shante. She made a deal. Hey, I put out blah blah albums, you give me the money to go to school. She became a doctor. Now, where is she at and what is she doing? I mean, you don't even know if some of these people are still alive. They used to do these Where Are They Now specials just because of that. So it's not as black and white and as cut and dry. It's very, intricate, just like these symbols. I mean, you go to the store, you see a shirt that got a triangle, and it's like Axe's Pink Floyd shirt. It got a triangle on it, and he wears it. Is it because he likes Pink Floyd? Probably. So does Axe wearing a triangle on his shirt mean he's a Illuminati shield? No. It means he fucking likes Pink Floyd. And Pink Floyd had a triangle on their shirt. And they probably didn't have no control over the design. They threw their name on there, they threw a triangle on it. some shit they do after the fact, and you just like, yeah, whatever. Just get my album out there. Just get my merchandise out there. Some of these people don't have that type of control over it, and some do, and that's just how it is. I mean, you take Master P. Master P went from selling CDs out of his trunk, making 50 grand, getting a loan from his grandfather, starting his own record label. People start, losing fame. People start going to jail. I mean, he still put out CDs. Nobody cares about it because his time has passed. But he don't care. He got his little niche audience that still listen to him, I guess. But he was hot in the mid-90s. But he didn't have that, Def Jam or Arista over his show. He started his company himself. No Limit Records didn't have nobody, so their distribution went how they decided to do it. The same with when Prince broke away from Warner Brothers. When he had MPG Records, there was no parent company to it. He would have to go to another label just to distribute the album for me. That's it. Then it got to the point he wouldn't even do that. This man was giving away CDs in London newspapers for free because all the money is in touring anyway. But, when they have these, people on these commercials or saying this dumb shit or, out in front agreeing with shit you don't think they really agree with, that's when you know that they pushing symbolism and that they pushing the agenda and that they into that. Like with Michael Jackson and his brothers and sisters. Joe Jackson did that on their behalf. Kind of like when you a minor, you can't sign a contract and it's on your parents. So it wasn't Michael Jackson's choice, but he went along with the bullshit for a long time too. And those type of people, they do take what they see advice of yours and try to turn it against you. But he was full on to pushing zombie culture with Thriller and all that type of stuff before we even realized we was being indoctrinated with it. So, there's that. But, I watch a lot of videos where they say, oh, that black and white checkered floor is Masonic. I had a black and white checkered floor in my fucking kitchen. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not a Mason. It's just shit they sell at Home Depot, and this shit is the cheapest. Now, in that case, for a celebrity, it might mean they're a Mason. And it might not be. When you got people like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they outwardly into that shit. Lady Gaga, they outwardly into that shit. Madonna, she was dressed up like whatever that fucking demon lady she was dressed up as at that one award show. And some of these halftime shows and this shit that they do, yeah, some of them is out with that. And I personally don't like Beyonce's fucking music. I don't think she's that talented. I mean, I listened to Jay-Z back in the 90s. I don't like him now. A Star is Born was a good fucking movie. So what? She did a great job. The songs in the movie are good. I mean, what the hell you want me to say? I'm not gonna let their bullshit control my life because I know, like, there's a yin and a yang to the symbolism. Like anything, like the yin and yang symbol itself. It's opposite but fit perfectly together. And you have to realize that. Whether the pyramids, I think CAG said the pyramids are actually like a power plant. But either way it go, it's still, something to marvel at that God could inspire man or give man the sight to even create something like that on that grand of a scale. And they turned it into something evil when it's just something that, like, hey, man, that's wow. And you marvel at it. You may like it because you like the concept of it, and that shouldn't be taken away for you, the individual person. You know, if you want to go to a fucking concert and rock the fuck out, do it. Because only you can tell you that you're not a fucking devil worshiper. If you are, that's your right and that's your business. But you can't allow some YouTube video to tell you that because your kitchen floor is black and white checkered that you're a Mason, and you know you're not a Mason. You can't let them tell you because you do the number 1 symbol and that's some kind of symbol in Masonry that you're a Mason. You can't let them tell you because you wear your hat a certain way, which is something big in Cleveland. People cock their hat sideways, half the hat cover your eye. Now all of a sudden, do that mean, that's a Midwest thing? And all of a sudden, oh, you trying to be, perpetuate one eye. And it's like, no, I just like fucking wearing my hat like this. I'm not trying to perpetuate shit. I'm just trying to go to work and come back home. When you strip away all that bullshit and see it for what it is, and, we know the major players out there. You see Jay-Z doing some shit, is 100% of the time some bullshit. Beyonce is 100% of the time some bullshit. Some fucking random country singer, you know what I mean? That he put out a CD, he go to the CMT Awards, and then next time you see him, he's fucking horseback riding in his backyard with his kids. And a few years later, he's on Where Are They Now? What is the devil gonna collect from him? Anita Baker ain't put out a song in over 10 years that I know of. Ain't nobody went to do shit to her. She just go somewhere, sit the fuck down, and be quiet. But you got these people that aren't as talented as you think. And a lot of that's, where they come in. You are right, but if you want to be better, we gonna have to manufacture this shit around you. Beyonce all right. She can't really dance. All she do is wear diaper suits and twirl her head around and look fucking crazy on stage. Why is she more popular than Melanie Fiona or Chrisette Michele or whoever? Because they put some of that shit behind her. And as far as like with black artists, with the Illuminati / Boule angle, they take two people and put them against each other. And they almost try to sacrifice one to the other. There was this singer from the 80s named Terrence Trent D'Arby. Now, he only has 2 songs that I know of, but he swear he was on this rise to popularity. And that the industry, and it's a very liberal industry, so you can believe it, they can't have too many black people in a high position out there. So he said Michael was like Apollo. So they sacrificed his career to Apollo because they wasn't going to let nobody knock Michael off the top, whether it was true or not. And he was like, yeah, you had Prince out there, but he was just an anomaly. He was making money and they was enjoying the money he was making, so they just kind of let him be. But still never let him top Michael. Even though, like I stated in another video, he was the first black person to have a video on MTV. The most influential pop star of the decade of the 1980s was Prince, but they still tell you it was Michael. Michael put out 2 albums in the 1980s, and Prince put out 9. And who knows that, besides a diehard fan? Because that's what you social engineer to believe, because they out for the person they propped up was Michael. And he was such a mental 10-year-old he don't know that he's a marionette. And when he came up out of it, it didn't even matter no more. So, shit they had Michael doing as a 10-year-old. Look at Michael pushing this agenda. I'm like, he's fucking 10 years old. They got the picture of him little with the afro and he got the okie dokie sign up. He was pushing the 666 back then. I'm like, what makes you think a 10-year-old knows what that shit mean? My daughter is 10. She don't know what that shit mean. My 15-year-old and 19-year-old sons don't know what that shit mean. Because I don't let them be indoctrinated to the point that they need to know what that shit mean, because it don't matter. This shit don't matter. So what do my sons need to know it for? If they like fucking rock music and they want to thrash their head and throw that shit up and stick their tongue out, oh, you stick your tongue out, that mean this. That's why Michael Jordan stick his tongue out. I mean, come on. And I'm not saying Michael Jordan is not a part of it, because he is. And he was getting out of pocket. That's why they killed his father. I'm just saying some shit like, hey, when you dunk, could you stick your tongue out? Because that means this. Nobody knows that it means whatever the claim is that it means. So what fucking difference does it make? And you got every little kid trying to duck and they sticking their tongue out and did the ground open and Satan came out of it? No. It didn't mean shit. But some little boy wanted to be like Michael Jordan. But he got to the billionaire level and it was allowed. So, you know what that means. That's the real level. That billionaire level. Because the music and movie and entertainment industry is so lucrative. If you popping like that and you don't have these people all with their hands out taking a cut of everything, you should be a billionaire. Selling 1 million records is equal to $10 million. So if you sell 15 million records, you should have $150 million. Look at TLC's behind the music. They end up splitting something like $1.2 million, but LaFace's record made $500 million off of them. Just off of Crazy Sexy Cool. They own the Grammy Awards, arms full of Grammys, and broke at the same time. What sense do that make? They go out of their way to put you on this extravagant tour and get you all the best musicians and the best writers, and it's all the same way society worked to keep you in that debt cycle. Like how Tupac couldn't leave Death Row Records, even though he gave him the 3 albums. He was like, how we gonna recoup this money we spent on studio time, on your music videos? He was stuck. On him bailing him out of jail, he was stuck. So, like I was saying, man, don't get caught up in that trap. There's plenty of videos out there. These people will tell you, man, so-and-so sacrificed his mama, and you look up, his mama was 89 years old. Come on. Now, Bruno Mars, I remember when he came out, he wasn't that fucking popular. Then his mama died, and you like, oh, okay. And she wasn't that old. Jennifer Hudson. What happened to her nephew and mama and sister or brother or somebody? Next thing you know, she got a damn Oscar. And for what? She has a beautiful voice, but her music is fucking boring. And it don't matter what they do to her music. It's always fucking boring. And she's always over singing every song. And that's why nobody fucking cares about her music. And then they throw her on some Weight Watchers commercial. And then she's singing that boring ass bullshit on there. And she got to look back at it like, man, I got an Oscar out of it. I guess she got enough money to live on. Who the fuck knows? That industry is mostly about wanting to corrupt young kids because you still innocent. Your third eye, if you're looking at your chakras, your pineal gland or your sixth chakra is your awareness, and your crown chakra is your spirituality. So your top two chakras, spiritual awareness. That's why they want so many of these musicians young. They got Michael and them. Michael was 5. The other boys, they were slightly older. Jackie and Jermaine, they was teenagers. They feed off of that energy like vampires. And yeah, they did something to all of them. Joe wasn't there to protect them. And I don't know how they felt that they had to do it, but they didn't protect themselves. You the commodity there. Yeah, they got the money, but you got the product. Don't nobody give a fuck about Clive Davis. They give a fuck about Whitney Houston. So, people didn't understand how to take their power. That's the difference between people that's alpha and beta and people that got that spiritual energy behind them. I remember Prince's first manager, Owen Husney, telling a story. Prince had bands at 12 years old. People wanted to sign him back then. He told record labels if he couldn't write, produce, mix, arrange, record, play on the instruments on it, he wouldn't take the deal. He was 12 years old telling people that. He was homeless when he was 12. His best friend's mother raised him from 12 years old up until he graduated high school. When he was in the studio recording his music, his manager admitted, I used to try to go give him hugs and he would push me off like, don't touch me, and he wouldn't let us be in the studio with him, and if we tried to be in the studio, he would refuse to record. And say he would shut everything down, stop playing, and just look at him like they was crazy. And if they sat out the studio trying to watch, he would cut the lights off and sing in the dark. You want that album out there, they had to let that motherfucker get away with that shit. You got people that's always had that in them to do shit on their own terms. And people like that end up martyrs. But it is what it is. And I can't fault Michael Jackson for that. His fucking father was giving him estrogen pills and chemically castrating him, and he was 5. He didn't know no better. But that's why they got this whole Mickey Mouse Club culture. Drake, he was like Canadian Mickey Mouse Club. He was on that damn Degrassi High School show in a wheelchair. I still remember them. Jimmy's a homo. So he in on that bullshit. He pushes that bullshit, walking around with pictures of Lil Wayne tattooed on his body. Sucking shit like that. Now, you gotta keep your kids away from shit like that unless you train them up with that spiritual armor. You got that spiritual armor and you got the faith in protecting you, then that stuff won't indoctrinate you. People, like I said, have kind of curled themselves up into the fetal position. I used to love to go to the movies blah blah times a week. Now I don't go, and I don't watch TV, and I don't do this and I don't do that. If that's something in your life that you enjoy, why let them take that from you? If it's something I want to see, I'm going to go watch it. I want to see Avengers Endgame, so I'm going to go fucking see it. I seen Black Panther. I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was good. Was it Oscar good? Hell no. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I watch movies. I sleep with my fucking TV on. You begging to be programmed. I ain't been programmed yet. I've been sleeping with my TV on for decades. I sleep better with it on. The only time I sleep better with it off is if it's raining outside. You know, so, my basic message is to, if you turn yourself away from things you enjoy, it's like everything in moderation. Ain't nothing wrong with drinking if you don't get drunk. Stuff you enjoy, if you do it reasonably and in moderation, then enjoy that. If that's part of the soundtrack or the movie script of your life, then it is what it is. I didn't let Colin Kaepernick ruin football for me. I done been to 17 different stadiums. My goal is to go to all of them. I'm not going to let Colin Kaepernick take away a goal I planned for myself with his bullshit. I'ma still go. It's something I like to do.